Good afternoon. My name is John Dulmes. I'm with the Michigan Chemistry Council, and I'll try to be brief and hopefully get to some great questions and maybe some dialogue here with the other members of the Alliance and myself. And on behalf of our members, the number we like to use for 96% is that chemistry is part of 96% of all manufactured goods. So every other manufacturing sector in the state is reliant on the products and innovations that our industry provides. And our companies are extremely focused on this issue as well, about workforce. The workforce for our industry is very diverse. It ranges from chemists to supply chain managers to plant operators. And it's also highly compensated, like Delaney mentioned. Manufacturing overall is a fairly well compensated field, and chemistry is a pretty significant increase, even above the average manufacturing wage. And on the one end of the spectrum, our companies do invest heavily in highly educated R&D professionals, people like chemists. Chemistry is 20% of all the patents in the U.S., and our universities and our companies in Michigan here are doing a lot of chemistry-related innovation. Specifically for Midland, the headquarters of Dow, that's been ranked numerous times as the U.S. city with the highest per capita proportion of PhDs. And that's true of not just them, but other companies like BASF in Southeast Michigan and other communities where they do business. And I'd say, fortunately, our universities in Michigan continue to do a really good job of producing these kind of individuals, in particular engineers, we as a state continue to excel at. And our companies report that they don't have much trouble attracting and hiring white-collar workers from Michigan and indeed across the nation to come live here in the Great Lakes state. But in contrast, our industry, like many others here today, have had more difficulty in finding workforce in the skilled, non-degreed trades. And many manufacturing jobs indeed are going unfilled because of the lack of available, interested, and qualified candidates. And for our industry, the type of plant operator in particular is a little different than construction or even other manufacturing sectors. You have to have a significant understanding of process, of instrumentation, and of safety, and it's different. It takes a different type of individual that has to be trained or qualified. So our industry is really focused on a couple things, and we look at workforce as both a quantity and a quality issue. And in Michigan, one of the challenges, demography, we are growing, but we're not growing as fast as other areas, so we have less to draw from. And our state has some existing disadvantages for investment relative to, I'd say, the southern states, not just in weather, but raw materials and logistics, infrastructure, and energy costs. And combined with the workforce issues, those factors are driving investment to other areas instead of Michigan. We used to be a top 10 state in the country for the chemical industry, and now we're 16, and every year I check, it's a little discouraging, but we dropped 1 or 2 more spots because of these factors. And increasing our skilled workforce would be a significant factor in helping us to be more competitive. So we look at quantity of the workforce, quality of the workforce, and also synergy between industry, construction, education, and government to effectively foster the workforce pipeline. And even things like Dawn mentioned, the residential construction force, having homes to live in, having individuals to build, make capital investments not just for residences but for manufacturing facilities. Michigan is a very costly place to build, and part of that is because of the workforce. So all of these things fit together. As part of the Career Pathway Alliance, we support a lot of the policies that have already been touched on. We think providing better flexibility within the merit curriculum. In some cases, we're just trying to solidify existing efforts, either existing state laws or providing greater certainty for what some communities have taken advantage of via waivers is only a positive thing. We know that even if the necessary actions are taken by the legislature, with all the headwinds that we face, Michigan's workforce situation is probably likely to get worse before it's going to get better. And so we are proud to be part of this alliance. We urge the legislature to move hopefully beyond just talking about all these great ideas to actually focusing on areas where we can move policy forward and address those concrete opportunities. And be glad to answer some questions along with my colleagues here.